All right, there we go. Got our recording started for those of you that can't make it live. Anyway, let's get into this. This is a webinar on SEMRush. A lot of you guys probably bought this when I recommended it, and it was really good that you did because they changed their pricing on October 1st, 2019, and they moved some of the stuff that was available in the pro level up to only being available in the guru level, which that's like $1,200 a year more. So if you got in before that, they always grandfather in whatever tools are available at that level at that time. So because you got in, you've got the content tools available. That's one of the things I was going to cover here. So we've got, notice they've got topic research. This thing is like a gold mine. The reason that I really love SEMRush is for twofold. It's for two reasons now, both related to SEO. If search engine optimization is important to you, this is a really, really valuable tool. There's a lot of other tools on the market, and the biggest reason that I love this one is I can, in just a few seconds, get a really clear picture of what's going on any website. Like if I'm doing a consultation on somebody's website, all I have to do is just put their domain in here and I can see everything that's going on. I can see how many incoming links there are. I can see how much traffic there is. I can see where they're advertising. I can see what keywords they rank for. It just gives me a tremendous amount of back-end data. You know, when I do this, it's almost like I have a crystal ball and I'm looking at the inside, the backside of their site, and they're like, my God, how do you know all this stuff, you know, just like right off the cuff? And I'm like, because it's giving me the data right there at my fingertips. So really, really cool. Another thing that's really neat about the software is they have a thing called a site audit. And if you own the software, it will give you a widget. You can actually put the widget on your website so people on your website can run a self-site audit. Now, what I would do if you're going to do that is I would put the widget on a page behind an opt-in. Like if you're going to do that, I would put an opt-in on your site for a free website audit. Click here to, you know, to get that. And then by clicking the button, they have to put their name and email address in. And then the landing page for the thank you, the success page, would be the page that has the audit thing on it. That way they can put in their domain and it will create a full report of anything that's wrong from an SEO perspective on their site, and it'll email it to them. And it will also email you that they got this if you're not checking it, if you're not having them opt in ahead of time. So that's a really cool feature. If you're in the agency business, if you're supplying services for other people, that's a great tool right there. You've got another one here, an on-page SEO checker. You have a social media tracker, a backlink audit. So you can churn up outside of that general picture. You can churn up a tremendous amount of information on any given website with just a few clicks. It's really, really powerful. It's a really cool tool. So with that said, if there's any of you guys that want me to use you as an example and run your site in here, and we can just kind of go through it, I can show you how this stuff works. Just go ahead, put your domain in the chat box, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that for you. So not a problem. But as we go through here, like I said, I always go to this one first. It's just under the dashboard tab. I'll drop a domain in there and I'll take a look. I know Russ wanted me to run his. So his is uv-blocker.com. So like I said, I just put the domain in there and I hit search here, and it's going to run a full search on that site. Yeah, Russ, I think I got it before you even got it in the chat box there. So cool. All right, so here's what you get. Like if I'm doing a consultation, what did that take me? A few seconds to get access to all this information. I can see that he's got 746 keywords he's already ranking for. That's up 3%. This traffic cost, what that means is if he were to buy the traffic that he's getting organically through pay-per-click, he'd be paying $1,000 a month. So he's getting $1,000 a month worth of free traffic here from Google, from the organic search. Over here, we've got backlinks. He's got basically 37,000 backlinks coming in. So that's a lot. That's a lot of foundation as far as backlinks. I can also see he's done some display advertising. So whether this is for your site or a competitor's site, you can see how this could be really, really beneficial to know what your competitors are doing, like to know if they're doing paid search and what keywords they were paying for and how much they were paying, to see how much traffic, what keywords they're ranking for, what display ads they're running. A lot of really, really good information here. It also gives you a chart over time. This is set for a year. You can go to all time. Like you can see back here, July 2008, it looks like he started a new SEO strategy here, and up we go. So that's pretty cool. He was back here. This is all the way back in 2012. I know a lot of things happened in SEO since then, and you can see he hit some point here where he had a major drop and chugged along here for a long time before kind of rising back up out of the dust. And then here, another hit, and then back on track. You can get this all the way down to like 1 month if you want to see what's going on 1 month, 6 months. And a lot of times in the 1 month, you don't really see a good picture. But, you know, the 6 months or a year, you can see. Like a year ago, he was down here, traffic of 460, and now we're up at 1495. So that's a pretty good incline over the last year. Anyway, back down here, scrolling down, we've got top organic keywords, 746. This is a really great report to run, and you can run this full report where it says view full report there. I'll come back and I'll do that in just a second, but I want to go down a little bit further here and show you what else is on this particular page. Main organic competitors, almost 600 of them. So if you want to know who to look at, see what they're doing, there they are. You can again run the full report and get an entire Excel spreadsheet on all this information. This is a really good thing to see here. It's branded versus non-branded in the searches. So you can see of all the searches run for him, his branded search traffic is only almost, well, it's only like 1%. So Google is looking at brand connection now. So this is a really good factor. If you don't have any brand search, that's probably a problem for you as far as SEO. Now, the fact that he's only got 1%, that still means there's a lot of searches going on for his brand because he's got a fair amount of traffic and a fair amount of searches going on and traffic from those searches. So 1% for him might be quite a few. You know, Google is looking at the number of people that are searching knowing your brand. So, you know, we call it brand awareness versus your competitors. If you have more than them, they can have more linking, they can have more of a lot of things, but if more people know about your brand and are sending that signal to Google, that can outweigh those other signals and you can wind up winning very easily. That is something that SitePop does. I would not be surprised if this 1% here was actually SitePop doing that for you. You know, that might also be an indicator of why the traffic has constantly been going up there and all of that. So that's something, it's a really cool feature and fact to look at. Here's another one. This is follow versus no follow. And basically in the real world, you should have more no follow links than you should have follow links. And that's the case here. So this looks very clean and natural. I see a lot of guys that are doing very pinpoint SEO and they're focused completely on follow links because they think they're more important. They think there's more juice in them, and they get this out of whack. And if you look at yours and it shows the majority follow links and very few no follow links, you're out of whack there. You know, Google's going to be looking at that as a factor that might make you smell a little fishy. So be careful of that. The other thing here is it will show you what types of backlinks, like text links, frame links, form links, and image links. It's perfectly natural to have the majority of your links be text links, but it's not natural to have 100%. Like here you see he's got 126 image links. What an image link is, that's just an image that's on a web page somewhere that the image itself is clickable to go to your site. It's like the anchor text is on an image. Form links, same thing, it's just a link inside of a form. Frame links is, I'm not really exactly sure what they're considering a frame link at this point, but anyway, it's just another factor to show a natural mix of things. So that's that. Now we go down to top anchors. What this is, anchors, that's the clickable text. That's a clickable part of a link inside text. It's like that's the part that's blue and underlined. You can click on it and it goes to the destination. That's anchor text. A lot of people will over optimize their anchor text, like beach, sun, umbrella. He's got 3,800 links, 3,851 for that on 5 different domains. So that's where this is showing up. Top anchor links is how many times that shows up. What you want to do is you want to have that mixed as much as possible. Now I know up here he's got 37,000 links, so this is a good chunk of that, is that one particular thing. Thanks for the marvelous posting. I actually enjoyed reading it. What that looks like to me is that looks like a testimonial that is on a site somewhere. Notice this has 2 domains. All these links are coming off of only 2 domains. So what that probably is, that is probably an anchor text that is on a testimonial on a site that's showing up in a footer or a sidebar on all of their pages. So the fact that it's coming off of only 2 domains is probably a good thing in this particular scenario. If he had that same anchor text on, say, 5,000 different domains, that probably means he's spamming links. So it's a good thing to have as much diversity as possible when you're talking about your linking structure, your linking portfolio. All right, so that is that. Referring domains, this is another one. This is where it will show you where your links are coming from off of the top domains. So this is in DE, so that's Germany. So apparently this site in Germany is sending him 6,700 backlinks. Again, it's probably a site that's got him in a footer or a sidebar somewhere with the same link over and over and over. That's probably the case. What you can do is you can look at your competitors and you can see what sites are sending links in, and it might give you an idea of what opportunities there are for you to get really specific links. The idea with linking, at least at this point in the SEO game, the idea with linking is to get links coming in that people will actually follow. So if you're putting links on a bunch of spammy garbage sites these days, that's not really working anymore. Google's AI is watching everything. If you've got, let's say you got 100,000 links out there, you know, in the old days, that would be fantastic. That would mean you'd probably be unstoppable. But today, with Google's AI at place, their rank brain, what it's doing, it's looking at all those factors. It says, okay, if this guy's got 100,000 links there and nobody's following those links, something's wrong. Something is wrong with that. Either it's pure spam, or it's just not something anybody's interested in. And guess what? Google's AI is to figure out what people are interested in. If they figure out people are not interested in you, good luck in your ranking. You're done. You're cooked. You're toast. So this is something you want to see. Look at those links that are coming in from your competitors and see if they've found a good source of a link that is an important link source. An important link source for you at this point in the game is somebody that's got your ideal customer on their site and they can make a referral. They click that link and get something that's very valuable to them. So when you're creating your linking strategy, you want to use what's called outreach. Outreach is reaching out to webmasters that have your traffic on their site and giving them some kind of an offer to put a link on there. Give them content that's very valuable to their users that they didn't have before, and then put a link in there back to your site. Most of them will agree to that if they want your content. So that is a really good, solid linking strategy for today's SEO. If you're doing SEO today, that should probably be part of your strategy. One of the things that you can do is there's tools out there where you can look for opportunities where some webmaster has a broken link. Maybe they've got a page that they're linking to and the page doesn't exist anymore. Or there's content on their site that's got links in it that are going to pages that don't exist anymore. That's old, outdated content. Webmasters should not have old, outdated content on their site. So this gives you a really good door opener to contact and reach out. Again, this is outreach. You're reaching out to the webmaster. You're pointing out a problem and providing a solution. You're saying something like this. You say, hey, I noticed the page that you have on your site is linking to outdated links that they're broken. Google doesn't really like that. I offer this service. I do this thing. I have some really great content. You could swap that old content out with and link over to my resource that would be very valuable for your viewers. That's an outreach type of conversation you want to open up. So anyway, that's something you want to do. This is publishers. This is like people that are publishing ads. You can reach out to these. Again, you can see how many ads. You can click on there. It'll show you the actual ads, whether they're text or image. These looks like text ads. And you can actually see the ads down here. Again, any one of these things you can click to generate a full report. So this is the information that I've got at one single glance within a few seconds. I can know an awful lot about what's going on anybody's site from an SEO perspective. I can also go and I can look at their competitors. I can run a competitive analysis and I can see what the gap is. I can show them, okay, you're here, you're like at a number 2 on the SEO scale. Your competitors are at a number 8. Nobody's at a number 10, so if we get you to a number 9, you're going to win the game. But you've got a pretty good gap to jump over to get there. That might take some time, depending on, what level we're talking about. Anyway, that's why I love this program. It's just in one page, one shot, a few seconds, I've got access to all that data. Now, if I want to do a deeper dive, and this is something I want to show you guys because this is really, really specific to SitePop. If you're doing SitePop and you have not chosen the right keywords, you might not be getting good results. I've shown this in several different tutorials and in the best practices guides and all of that. But for those of you that don't know, SitePop is our SEO software that sends search signals into Google. You've got to make sure you're using the right keywords though, or it doesn't make sense. So anyway, we go to the organic top keywords and we run the full view report, or view full report. And what that's going to do, it's going to bring up all the keywords. He had I think there was like 700 of them or something. So it's going to pull that up and it's going to give you a really nice little report here showing you the keywords you rank for, the current position, and the previous position. So it'll show if you're going up or down or it'll also show if you've got new keywords in there. I'm just going to see if I could, like here's one that went up 4. So they were 9 and now they're 5. So they went up 4. That's for buggy umbrella holder. Here's one that went up 6, umbrella holder. Here's one that went down 1, large umbrella. So anyway, you can see the movement. You can see what's going on here. I don't see any that are new. I was hoping, but it'll just say new keyword there. But anyway, let me show you what these columns are. Here's position. Here's difference. This is the keyword, obviously. And this is the I don't necessarily look at the traffic number here, but I look at over here the percentage of traffic. So this particular keyword in the #1 spot is bringing 22% of his overall traffic from organic search. Sun umbrella in the #7 spot is bringing 17% of the traffic. Here's the significant thing here. Look at the volume. There's only 721 people searching for the UV blocker umbrella at the #1 position that's bringing in 22% of the traffic. This keyword here, both of these here, 6,600 keywords a month. And collectively, this is the same keyword, sun umbrella. He's #7 and #8. You might ask how that's possible, and it's different URLs. Like this is UV protection umbrellas page under collections. This is his actual home page. So the home page ranks #7, the deep URL ranks #8. So collectively, between those two at position 7 and 8, that's 30% of his overall traffic, because there's such a much higher level of search for that keyword. So think about this. That's a great keyword for him to run in SitePop. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, but SitePop is the reason he's in that 7 and 8 spot right now. So that's a really good keyword to try and push up to this #1. If he got up to that #1 for that, his traffic would go absolutely berserk. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for keywords that have good volume of traffic. You've got good traction. SitePop can push those up. That's what it's meant for. That's what it was made for. So Russ, it does not seem like the last time we ran this report you were anything looking like this. This is great. I mean, you're ranking for some great keywords here. Sun blocking umbrella, #5. Sun protection umbrella, #5. This looks really good. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. It's making a very good positive impact. I can see now why your traffic is climbing. So anyway, this is what you want to run this report for. What I will do is I'll hit the export button here, and I'll export this report into an Excel spreadsheet. That way I can sift and sort it. And I'll go ahead and do that just so you guys can see what this looks like. And I'll just open it up here. Okay, so now I've got the report open. The first thing you have to do is enable editing so you can actually manipulate the report. And I like to just open these things up so I can see the whole deal there. I'll get rid of a lot of these, like the keyword difficulty. I don't really need that. I'll get rid of that column. And right now I'm not really looking at this stuff, although the traffic percentages is a really cool column. But what I want to see the URLs, I want to see the cost per click, the search volume. I don't really even care about previous. So I've got the position, the search volume, the cost per click, and the URL that's ranking this position. Now next, what I'll do, I'll select all the data, and I'll go over to the data tab. And let's see, okay, the data tab, and then I want to click on the sort. So when I click the sort button, I say my header, my data has headers, and I'm going to sort this first by position, smallest to largest, but then I'm going to add another layer in here, and then I'm going to search it by volume. And here I'm going to go largest to smallest. Okay, so I run the search. Now I've got everything in the #1 slot. I don't really care about that because I can't move that up any. But anything beyond that, in fact, usually #2 and 3, if you're in the top 3, you're kicking butt. That's where you want to be. But if you're anywhere beyond that, if you move up to the top 3, it gives you a significant boost in traffic. So I'm looking for stuff where I can make the fastest move and make the most impact. So on the #5, I've got 2 keywords there that's 720 on that: UV protection umbrella, sun protection umbrella. So what I want to do is I want to highlight those so they stand out. Now we'll go down to #6, UV umbrella, 1600, 720. Those are 2 very important keywords. Highlight them. Same thing, I'll go down to #7. I'm looking for the big ones. I'm looking for the big wins here. Now I'll just go down to the top ones in each category. Sun umbrella, sun umbrella. Now the cool thing here is sun umbrella. This is the one we pointed out before. He's #7 and #8. So again, I'll just highlight it there. #9. Okay, #9, it's a low volume keyword, so he's got such higher volume keywords. I'm just gonna ignore that one for now. I'm looking for the big ones. I'm looking for the big hits here. And what we call this traction. These are traction keywords that are already ranking. And I'll probably run down here as far as, maybe the 3rd or 4th page in Google. But like big lots, that's not specific. Umbrella sizes, that's probably not very specific. Here's one. On #25, he ranks #25 for this. Umbrella for stroller, 720 people. He has a specific page for this. That's a great keyword to try and push up with SitePop. Again, here's one, large beach umbrella. He has a page specifically for large beach umbrella. He's ranking #28, 880 people a month. That's a winner. So these are keywords that are perfect to target for SitePop. Yes, large umbrella, sun blocking hats. I don't know if he's got hats, but if he does, that's a winner. That's what we're looking for here. We're looking for the big wins. Here's a beach umbrella sand anchor, and he has one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So anyway, you guys see how this works. And then we've got our targets. These are perfect keywords to drop into SitePop and let it do its thing. If you guys are using keywords in SitePop that you're not ranking in the top 100 for, those don't have traction. Google is not looking at you as important for that yet. What you want to do, you want to take the traction keywords, the ones that are most impactful, most meaningful for you, and start pushing those up first. When Google sees people clicking through to your site, running searches, finding you, and getting what they wanted, it starts building value and trust. So whether you're using SitePop or not, this is the way to do SEO. You want to focus on your traction keywords first. If there's keywords that you don't particularly have a page for yet, like here, UV protection umbrella, if your home page is ranking and you don't have a deep page, Russ is really good at this. He's got a lot of deep pages for almost everything. Like there's a UV protection umbrellas, and that's exactly what we got here. So you want to create pages for these keywords. Keyword research is always first. It's always number one. You need to find out what you need to be creating content around. So now that you guys kind of have that, I'm going to go back to SEMrush, and we're going to go and we're going to explore a different tab here. And actually, hold on, before we do that, let me take a look. I know there was some people raising their hands, and if you've got questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat here. So let's see. Shonda wants to know, what is he doing? Russ has been actively involved in SEO. He's been one of my SEO dominators for a long time, probably 10 years or more. So he's very knowledgeable on SEO. We've actually done some SEO programs for him in the past. He does a lot of the stuff himself. So he's very knowledgeable. He's very good at this game. And you can see he's getting traction. He's getting benefit, all of that. Sam wants to know, how will this work for local? Local is no different than national. Local, all it is it's just different, more specific keywords. There's no difference in local SEO and organic SEO for national companies when you're talking about organic SEO. The only difference is in local, there is local opportunities for local businesses. Like you can do a Google My Business account, you can get on the maps and all that stuff. But right now, we're basically talking about organic SEO. This is the search in the search box, the search results pages, the SERPs. So this is the exact same thing. If you guys have, specific questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Leslie asks, how can you use this strategy for a site that has no traction, no keywords in the top 100? If you don't have any keywords in the top 100 and you're not a brand new site, then you probably have some issues. One of the things that you can do to figure out if your site actually ranks is you can go to Google and you type in this SITE : and then your domain. So I'm going to use Russ here just as an example. I'm going to put uv-blocker.com. So it's site : and whatever your domain name is .com, and you just hit enter there. And what will come up here is Google will actually tell what pages are indexed for that domain. It'll strip everything else out. It's only telling us what's on this site. So you can see there's 70 pages. Russ has 70 pages ranking in Google. And these are indexed pages. If you run your site and your domain and you come up with nothing here, and the site is more than, a few weeks old, it might mean you've got a problem. It might mean you've been de-indexed. If your site's been de-indexed, that I know for a fact that's a 2-year penalty box. You won't be able to get your site back in the listings for 2 years. If you've bought a new site and the site was available for sale because somebody got it penalized, you just bought a lemon. So you might, if it's a new site and it's not indexed and you can't get it indexed, you might want to build your site on another domain. That's just something to consider. Anyway, that's definitely a problem. If your site is brand new and it's just not indexed yet, the easiest way I know to get a site indexed, you can get it indexed almost instantly by creating a YouTube video. Inside the YouTube video, in the description, you put http://yourdomain.com or .net or .org or whatever your domain is. What that does, that puts a hot link inside YouTube over to your site. Google is constantly scanning YouTube for new content. So it's going to find that link within seconds and it's going to index your site. Google's job is to follow links and index what's over on the other side of the link. So you can literally have your site indexed in a matter of seconds. So If you do that, if you put a YouTube video up with your domain in the first part of the description, don't put any other thing in front of it. Start the description with HTTP. You know, that's the way you do it. If you do that, you don't get indexed, that means that site has probably been banned. Again, that's a 2-year penalty box. Pick a different domain and move on. So anyway, that's something that you want to consider. Again, if there's any other questions, you guys can put them in the chat box here, and I'll answer them as quick as possible. So anyway, that's the organic search. That's what happens when we run the first thing. We get the organic search tab, or actually it was the domain dashboard. Where we are here, we're in organic search. We're looking deeper into the keywords. There's also a backlinks tab. I don't want to get too far into the backlinking thing, but there's a lot of stuff. If I were to go through every one of these tabs, we'd be here for the next week. I want to hit the most important stuff during this webinar so I can give you guys maximum value for, you know, for an hour's worth of time. So the next thing I want to cover here is the topic research. So I'm going to look at, you know, Russ is working here. Basically, it's a sun umbrella. It's to protect people from UV rays and prevent cancer, all that kind of stuff. So UV blocker is an important word. That's part of his brand. UV umbrella, anything at all to do with umbrellas is going to be really important to him. Anything to do with sun protection is going to be really important to him. UV protection, sun protection. So knowing that, now I'm going to move to the next step, and I'm going to go to topic research. So let's use the one that was in 7. What was it? Oh, here it is, 7 and 8, sun umbrella. So we're going to go over to topic research, and this is where we're going to look at content. We're going to look at content out on the web to find out what's important to people that are out there. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so there's a question here. When we use site link domain name, it gives a list of pages. Is there a particular order in which they're shown? More like active on top, any algorithm or criteria? I'm not really sure about that. I believe that Google would always put whatever's most important on top. But when you do site link, that's different than site colon. Site link colon is showing you links coming into the site. Google's very protective over their algorithms, so they count on them not giving you clear, concise data in that particular search. Okay, so here I'm going to put in sun umbrella, and I'm going to hit enter, and let's just see what we got. What this is doing, this is like scouring the internet to find out under sun umbrella what other topics are important, what are people looking for, and what content is being consumed. So right at the top of the list for sun umbrella, you see UV rays. That is very important to people. And notice they've connected UV blocker. That's a really good thing for Russ, for them to actually connect his brand with UV rays. Healthy skin, made in the shade. These are what these are. These are subject lines of content that's getting linked to, that's very popular. 5 best parasols for sun protection 2018. That is a perfect example right there. Why wouldn't you create a page that was 5 best parasols for sun protection 2020? When you put dates in your subject lines, people see that as highly relevant. When they go to click, what do you think they're going to click on? The one from 2018 or the one from coming up for next year? They're going to want the new stuff. So that's another thing. If you're putting dates in, make sure that when the year changes, you go back and update your stuff. You don't want old content out lingering around the internet. When people go to a search engine page, they've got 10 people to select from. They're not going to select from old stuff. You know, even if you're the most current and you say an outdated date, they're not going to see it as current. They're going to click probably something else, thinking it might be more current. So that's a really good factor there. You'll see that that one is showing up in a lot of different places. So I would say, since that's a really popular thing, I would definitely focus on that as an article or something that you want to write on your site for. Okay, so there's other things you can put. You can put search content on a particular domain if you want to see what's going on, what's hot, what's popular on any given domain. That's competitor research. You could put that right in there. But as you scroll down, this is the hot stuff. Another thing that's really cool about this is there's a mind map. You can click on the mind map here and you can see all the different headlines. You can also see questions. Like if you want all of the what questions, so what is UV protection umbrella? What is a UV protection umbrella? These are questions that people are asking out on the internet. These are questions that you might want to answer with your content. You might want to set up a Q&A page on your site. You might want to answer the most popular questions that people are asking in your niche. That's really good content to add to your site. I notice a lot of you guys that are trying to do SEO and you're just getting started, you have thin content sites. Thin content sites don't really attract a lot of visitors. People will visit your site for mainly to find out something. They're searching, they want information. If you don't solve that problem, if you don't give the information they're looking for, why would they come to you? And a better question is, why would Google send them to you? Google wants to send users to good content. So what this tool is like peeling back the curtain and showing you what good content looks like. This is this is like having a crystal ball for what content you should be developing, what pages you should be adding to your site, what sections you should be adding to your navigation. This is like it doesn't get any better than this. This is telling you exactly what's going on and what you need to do if you want to rank for this stuff. So if you want the how questions, how to buy a good umbrella that won't break in a bit of wind. That's a really good question. If you have the answer to that, your product solves that problem, that would be a really good thing for you to make content around and answer that question. If this is showing up here, a good number of people are running that search in Google. That's why this is showing up here. So another thing while we're here, while we're on this topic, answering questions is one of the most powerful things that you can do from a search engine strategy, because it could potentially put you in position 0. And if you guys haven't seen position 0, it's when you ask a question in Google and the answers box pops up above the organic search results. That's position 0. That's better than position 1. If you didn't know, if you weren't sure if 0 falls in front of 1, it does. Being in position 0 puts you at the absolute top. It does not supersede the ads. The ads are always the first thing. But as far as the organic listings, answers box is number 1, or number 0 rather. And then it goes into the organic content. It's a really good place to show up if you're doing search engine optimization. I'll take position 0 any day. The only way you're going to get there is if you're answering questions, because it's an answer box. Position 0 is reserved for people that are answering questions. So it's pretty important to know what those questions are and to answer them. Answer them better than the next guy, and you have a shot at getting in that position. Okay, so that's really cool. The mind map reveals the questions. On the cards, if we'll go back to the cards for a second, let's say any one of these grabbed your attention and you wanted to dig down on it. Let's see. What color umbrella is best for sun protection? If you click on the show more, it's going to give you, again, it's going to give you the questions for that specifically. So you got all the questions for that specific interest group. You've got all of the headlines here. You have related searches. You might want to run these and see what comes up. And then down below, you've got things like auto open. That might be a feature of an umbrella. UV protection umbrella in India. That might show you there's a market. Golf umbrella. UV blocker, UPF 50 plus. So again, these are just showing you deeper things to dive in and discover more. So you can probably see I've only shown you 2 tabs that's inside here. These are the 2 tabs that I use most. And these are the 2 tabs that makes this tool absolutely indispensable to me. There is a ton of other stuff, like I said, you know, there's an analysis gap, there's marketing insights, there's all kinds of stuff that this will do. There's even a lead generation tool. The lead generation tool is that thing I showed you at first, where they can get an SEO site audit that will generate leads for you. So really, really cool stuff here. There's a cost per click map that's showing you like pay-per-click advertisers, that kind of stuff. But again, I cannot speak highly enough for this tool as, you know, as just a foundational crystal ball into SEO. A lot of the other tools out there, they go deep on one particular thing. There's other tools that would give you better information about linking, like Ahrefs. If you are really focused on link building, Ahrefs for that particular thing is probably a better tool than SEMRush. But for me, for what I do, for this, it really is highly impactful. Okay, there's also an Explorer tab here. This shows you the subtopic, like this would be the main topic. These are subtopics, and then you've got content ideas. So they're actually featuring Russ here for UV blocker folding umbrella. He's actually showing up here as a content idea, and also for UV rays. And also again for UV blocker folding umbrella. Again, this is another page showing information that they're saying, hey, this is good content. So congratulations to you, Russ. You're showing some really good progress here. Here's another one, skincancer.org on UV rays. Now, if I were you, Russ, I would probably reach out to these people and see if you could offer some content for them in exchange for a link, because that skincancer.org probably has an awful lot of authority and linking power and link juice. If you can get a link back from them on your site, that would be a big win. That would be a big score right there. So over here, notice like what it's showing here is number of backlinks to any particular page, number of Facebook engagements, and total number of shares. So I can assure you, if your content is getting shared, it's really good for the users. Your ideal customers like that content. So that is a really good indicator here. You don't want to copy content that's not getting engaged with, that's not getting shared. So this is a really good indicator. Like the skincancer.org, one of the things I would probably do when I was reaching out to them is I would make the comparison of, hey guys over here at skincancer.org, I know you've got some great content. I see this particular article got shared 125 times. By the way, my articles get shared on average 400 or 500 times. I would love to provide you some of that content because I'm pretty sure this is proof that your users would like it. And you're basically you're creating a compelling argument of why they should put your content on their site and link back to you. Again, it's intel. Whoever has the most intel in the marketing game is generally going to win. You know, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what your prospects want, if you don't know what your competitors are doing, and you're playing this game, you're probably not playing to win. You've got to have that intel. You know, SEO, I talk about this a lot, and I relate SEO to warfare. You know, it's like there's a battlefield out there. And when I showed you guys how to pick traction keywords, the way that connects to the battle is you pick the battles you can win. You don't go out onto a battlefield knowing you can't win, because that means you're going to wind up in a body bag. You know, you don't want that for your SEO efforts. You want to win. Don't walk onto a battlefield you can't win. That's the moral to that story. Also, intel. You know, a general will collect all kinds of intel before he creates his battle plan. He's doing analysis first, just like we do our marketing. We're doing this in a certain way so we can win. You know, you can learn a lot from the way other businesses run. War is business. You know, that they're in the business to win. We're in the business to win. So why don't we look at how they win on the battlefield and use that in our business practice? It's the same thing, I guarantee you. The same strategies. You know, there's the book, The Art of War. That's about business. You know, that's about life. It's all the same. The way you play the game determines whether you're going to win or lose. Okay, let's see. Russ wants to know how the content template works. Okay, let's take a look at it. I have honestly haven't used it before, but I'm happy to click under the hood here. And let's see. Okay, so we'll use the same thing, Sun Umbrella, and we'll give it a shot. We'll see. Oh, I guess you can put multiple keywords in here. So I'm just going to create SEO template based on that. So I guess the moral there is put as many keywords in there as you want to create content on a particular page. What I would do there is I would use the relevant keywords, related keywords. Like when you do your keyword research, there's going to be related keywords. Another thing too, like if you go into Google and let's say we use Sun Umbrella here, and we run this in Google, what I do for related keywords, look at that, UV blocker umbrella right there. Awesome. Okay, here's the thing I was talking about. People also ask. This is up here in position number 1, or position 0 rather. Usually this takes the top slot. So anyway, maybe it's not guaranteed to be at the top, but it's always up here above the fold. This is the questions thing. You know, what is the best sun umbrella? We saw that over there. This is pushing it at tripsavvy.com because they answered the question. You know, do sun umbrellas work? Health, howstuffworks.com. They answered the question. That's why they got rewarded. You know, can you get sun under an umbrella? coach9.com.au. Again, it's because somebody answered the question. But my point, why I did this, I ran Sun Umbrella here. We're talking about related content. I'm going to go down here. Google tells you what's related to Sun Umbrella right here. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to put Walmart in here and maybe not Japanese Sun Umbrella if you weren't in Japan. But sun umbrella versus rain umbrella, that's really relevant. Google is noticing that. They're putting that right here in front of your nose. Pick it up, run with it. What color umbrella is best for sun protection? I bet you there's an answer box on the other side of that. Somebody's answering that question. You have an opportunity to answer it better. So again, UV blocker folding umbrella, that's a relevant keyword. Google, the cool thing here is Google is noticing that Russ's brand UV blocker is a relevant term to sun protection umbrella. This wasn't like this a while back. This is because of the work that Russ has done in moving this all forward. So again, if you're looking for what content is relevant, what keywords, it's right there. Google shows it to you at the bottom of every search page. Okay, so we ran this for this is for the SEO content template, and we ran the term sun umbrella. So here, let's see, our analysis is based on your Google top 10 rivals. Cool, so Trip Savvy, remember we just saw that one. Amazon, let's see, mymag.com. All right, so there it is. And then down here, keyword recommendations based on your Google top 10, semantically related, open and close. People obviously want to know how to open and close sun umbrellas. Beach umbrella, water repellency, UV blocker. Look at that. You're right up front. That's awesome. So again, it's just showing you relevant stuff. What this probably means is you should be working these keywords into your content. So that's why we're under the content template here. This is to build a content template. Now, try to acquire backlinks from the following domains. It's giving you backlinks to reach out to try and get that. Now, sometimes these aren't right. They're not relevant. Like Yahoo's probably not going to give you a link, but some of these might. These are things to chase down, opportunities to see what's on the other side. Okay, let's see. The average readability score from the top 10 results is 50. So when you're creating your content, there's a thing called a readability score. You want to make sure that you're at 50 or above. It's telling you the text lengths. The average text length is 921 words. So again, it's building you a template. It's building you a content template, showing you what your template should look like. Here is, okay, so these are links over to content that's actually out there, and it's showing you where the stuff is showing up. It's highlighting the relevant terms right in the content. So you can do the show more, and it'll give you the whole thing. So I don't recommend that you copy and paste this content and plagiarize it, but it's giving you information. It's giving you like what's popular, you want to read it, and just write better content. You know, take it and run with it. Write better content on all this stuff. What better content looks like to me is what your audience is interested in. Maybe go over to the Q&A and write content, put content in here. You know what you might do under Sun Umbrella, take the top questions and use those as your H2, H3, H4 tags, and write a paragraph, a little blurb about each one going down the page. Okay, here is basic recommendations for title, page title. Add at least one of your target keywords into the title. Sun umbrella, really good idea to have that in the title. Don't use each target keyword more than one time. So if you're going to use sun umbrella, don't use sun or umbrella twice. Optimal length 55 characters. That's how to build a perfect title. Meta description, optional or optimal meta description, 160 characters. I can tell you from experience the best way to write a description is to write a compelling cliffhanger that they have to click through to find out what the rest of it says. Truncate it with a ... at a really crucial point, like, you know, check our site to see the top 10 ... They're going to be top 10 what? Or get your free ... And it asks a question that for them to answer, they have to click. That makes a compelling click through. H1, at least one of your target keywords. Don't use each target keyword more than one time. So your H1 could be sun umbrella. Text, add all your target keywords at least one time to the text. So that's what's coming up under the content template tab. It's basically giving you ideas based on the pages that are currently ranking. So you know what you're up against. You know how many words you should have in your page. Where was that? Somewhere on here I saw. Okay, here, text length. Recommended text length, 921 words. You know you should have at least that much if you want to compete on that first page. You know, average readability, 50. You want to hit that or better. Okay, let's see. Okay, Bradley says the basic account only provides 5 projects. How do you track and produce reports when over 5? Okay, I personally don't use SEMRush for tracking. I use it for intel. There are a lot of other programs for keyword tracking. If you know the keywords that you want to track, there are much better tools out there for tracking and reporting and doing client work. This is more of an intel tool, but you can also get more projects. You can increase the number of projects in here if you want to do that with this. And Sue asks, where do you answer the questions? You're answering the questions in your content. Like when Google is putting the content box up there, let's see, let me go back up. They're answering these questions like, what is the best sun umbrella? That's being answered here by TripSavvy. So they have the 7 best UV umbrellas of 2019. They've created an actual page that answers that. Sometimes you'll see that it's just part of the content of a site. What Google's trying to do is they're trying to find out who's answering the question. They don't care if the question's being answered in the title, although that helps. That's really specific. But they're just, a lot of times nobody's answering the questions. So if you answer a question that's not being answered properly, you could be the one that shows up there. Okay, so let's see, we got some more here. Pro Rank Tracker is fantastic. Mike put that out. I know a lot of people use Pro Rank Tracker. That's a great software. Let's see. Jim says, what are some of the best keyword tracking tools other than SEMRush? That Pro Rank Tracker is used a lot. There's a ton of them out there. I'm trying to think offhand the one that we use. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it will incorporate your Google Analytics and a bunch of stuff, so it makes a really good client report. So I can get back to you on that one, Jim. I just have to look it up. Okay. Can you also ask and answer questions on your GMB? GMB is Google My Business. I don't know if they have an answers thing, but I would say when you can create articles in your Google My Business account, and you could specifically target answering questions in there for sure. Because Google My Business, you know, if your Google My Business page starts getting a lot of attention, that could help boost not only your ranking for the Google My Business page, but also for your domain. So pretty cool. Shonda says Bright Local is another one, another software for rank tracking. And let's see, she also says, yes, you can ask the questions on your GMB and you can answer them as well. So cool. Yeah, Google My Business is for local businesses. You definitely want to make sure that you're participating and you're playing in that tank, because that's really what that was kind of built for. So, all right, any other question, guys? I know we're a little bit over our hour. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I think we've covered the the main features here that I wanted to cover that are most important to me and how I use this tool. Let's see. SEMrush content can't be used until you get to the guru. Yes, that's correct, Sue. They moved that. That was one of the things. That's why I was promoting this last month. I said, if any of you guys want to get this, it'd be really good if you got it before October 1st. That's when they made that shift. They, I'm on the Pro version here, and I have it because I bought the Pro prior to them making that shift. So if you know, if by chance you didn't get it before, then yes, the content stuff is now only available in the Guru, which is an additional $100 a month. Whether that's worth it to you or not, I really can't tell. I know for me it would be worth it because I do this on a daily basis. This is my thing. You know, I'm doing this for clients all the time. So it obviously makes sense to me. May not make sense to you guys on a long-term basis. If you're just doing this for your own site and you want to create a new site, or you want to recondition your existing site, make it SEO friendly, and you want to get search traffic like what Russ is doing, I would say it would probably be worth the investment to get this maybe for a month or two. Dig all the information out that you need and then cancel the account. You don't need it long term if you're just doing this for your own site. But to get the intel, to do the competitive research and get all the information that this can reveal for you, I think it's definitely worth it. I'm going to put in the chat, I'm going to put the link here. Okay, so it's basically, oh, I missed something there. It's the // It's internetdominators.com/SEMrush. That's my affiliate link for this. If you guys are going to get it, you know, you can use my affiliate link, and I get a tip in my tip jar for that. So that's really cool. If you do decide to get it, if you use my link, that's always appreciated. If you've already got it, that's great. If you didn't get it through my link, that's perfectly fine. I still support you guys all the way, and I always offer, you know, the training whether you use my links or not. So, all right. Okay, well, cool. I appreciate you guys all being here. We are recording this. I'm going to put this up in the training area, so you guys will all have access to it if you want to look through it again. And you know, get on our weekly calls. For any of you guys that are in the Dominator Club, our weekly calls, I answer any question you've got every Thursday at 11 Pacific. And if you guys are not in there, I can send you a link to get you in without paying the, you know, the upfront fees if any of you are interested in that. It's a great community, and I've been doing it since 2008. So every week I answer your questions, whatever it is, I'm there to help. So anyway, thanks for being on here. I appreciate all of you, and your questions are great. That's what builds the content. So keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time.